Bells ring today in St. Peter's Square, marking the death of Pope Francis. He died today at the age of 88. More reactions now as people around the world are mourning the death of the Pope. In St. Peter's Square, that area around the Vatican remains very busy after Easter weekend with tourists. Many are responding to the news with shock and sadness. An Argentinian tourist said the news was particularly significant because the Pope himself was Argentinian, the first, in fact, from Latin America.
Well, I don't live in Rome. I live in Milan, and I'm here for Easter. And I find it very significant that the Pope has died during Easter or the Easter weekend. I'm from Argentina. The Pope is Argentinian, so it has quite a bit of significance for us.
How you feel?
It's a moment of a bit of sadness and at the same time thankfulness and celebration of life.
A day before his death, Francis appeared on the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square on Easter Sunday and delivered a special blessing over Vatican City and the world. Pope Francis was one of the most visible men in the world. His worship services and public events were followed by tens of millions of people every time he spoke. But what was it like to see the Pope behind the scenes, working, traveling, and sharing a joke? NBC's Jay Gray has more on the personal side of the Pope.
He led more than 1 billion Catholics around the world, but only a select group of journalists had a 30,000-foot view of Pope Francis's journey. NBC News correspondent Claudio Lavagna is part of the Vatican Accredited Media Personnel, or VAMP. It's made up of about 70 members of the press who travel with the Pope on board Shepherd 1. Over the past 20 years, Lavagna's covered Popes John Paul II, Benedict, and Francis.
It's like following a rock star around the world.
His papal name, Francis, was chosen to honor the saint of the poor, the people Lavagna says the late Pope seemed happiest to be around.
He wanted the poor church. He wanted to reach out to the last of the last. Not politicians, not leaders, just the people, especially the people who had nothing, and perhaps the most important that they had was faith.
Lavagna says the spiritual leader had quite the sense of humor, and he recalls pulling a prank on the Pope during a flight to Morocco.
When he extended his hand, I just pulled it away, and he was shocked.
The joke, a play on this viral video showing the Pope refusing to let well-wishers kiss his ring.
A lot of people are asking themselves, why didn't you allow this faithful to shake your hand or kiss your hand? And he laughed and he took my hand and he slowly explained that he did it for hygienic reasons.
As loved as Francis was, he did have his critics.
There were a lot of unfulfilled promise to this pontificate.
One of his most iconic and historic moments came when the world shut down due to COVID. Pope Francis standing in an empty St. Peter's Square, praying for the pandemic to end.
The Pope is the shepherd of the world, and I think that image will last a very long time.
Weigel contends the next Pope will have a different vision for the Church.
I think we are going to see a conclave focused on a return to a more orderly process of decision-making in Rome.
While in many ways Pope Francis changed the papacy, some say it never changed him.
He really always was Jorge Bergoglio, which was his real name, and he never lost that for one day.
Jay Gray, NBC News.